Hello everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to day 2 of the Dominance Visibility Challenge. So yesterday we talked about shifting your mindset and breaking free from limiting beliefs. Today we are diving deep into branding. You know why? Because your story matters more than you think. So we are looking at branding, both personal branding and business branding. If you want people to trust and to connect with you, your brand has to be clear and authentic. So let's do this. In a simple definition, what is branding? What is business branding, first off? Now, when you think of business branding, when you hear when people talk about business branding, when people say business branding, they often see business branding as the personality of a business or a company or product. They see business branding as logo, colors. Yes, it is, but it is more. There's more. So business branding is about creating a consistent experience, a unique experience that makes your customer trust and remember you. Apart from your logo, apart from the color, apart from the website design, apart from your product packaging, apart from the name of your company, business branding is deep. It has to do with your customer service style. How do you make your customers feel, your clients feel? Do you leave a lasting experience after they have an encounter with you? Now, let's take for instance, when you see Coca-Cola logo, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind and what Coca-Cola seeks to achieve at the end of the day is to make you remember happiness, refreshment, a kind of classic taste. That's what Coca-Cola seeks to achieve. They want you to remember them. They want you to remember happiness, remember, refreshment, remember excitement, enjoyment whenever you see their logo, whenever you come in contact with their brand. Now, let's go to personal branding. Personal branding is different, but more important, because this has to do with you. This is about you. The branding, the business branding is an entity, a totality of you, your associates, your partners, your staff, your customers. It has to do with a lot of people that makes it a company. But when it comes to personal branding, it is about you. All right? And is even more important. It has to do with your values, your personality, your story, your style. When you put yourself out there authentically, you become a real person to your audience. You are not just a faceless business, right? It's not about showing the real you behind the product. It's about showing the real you, right? Showing the real you behind the product or service. Let's say, for instance, Somachi Bags Company Limited. Who is the face? Who is the person behind this company? What does she stand for? Who is she? Just like you're here, Dominance Beyond Borders Digital Hub Limited is a brand. Who is the person behind the brand? Ruth Sobechuku. The Dominance Visibility Challenge is a program. Who is the person behind the program? You're here relating with me because of my person, right? Because of who I have made you, who I have made myself to be, who I have presented myself to you as. I don't know if you get that, right? So when you put yourself out there, like you're being real, you're yourself. When I mean being yourself, it's not if you have bad character, you show up. No, you're showing up yourself as a human being that has feelings, that has emotions. Now, I belong to a platform of women. So yesterday, someone posted about one of our members, that one of our members, we lost one of our members. As a person, what do you do in that situation? Do you just act like you didn't see, or you didn't have empathy? You don't feel any kind of pain. You don't resonate with what is going on in the community. I wanted to post something. I had finished typing something. Immediately that message came. If I didn't have personal I'm looking for the right word now. If I don't have personal what's this word? If I don't have personal beliefs, personal choice, personal lifestyle, I would just go ahead and post that thing. Or when it happen, I don't. In fact, I don't even know the person personally. I don't even know the person, because the group, we have over 1,000 on the WhatsApp group. We have over 70,000, 80,000 on the Telegram group. So I've not had any encounter with the person. But no, because of my personal belief, personal goals, ethics, I can't just do that. I represent a brand. I am a person. I had to show empathy. I had to, sympathize, show empathy. I deleted whatever I was supposed to post, and then post my condolence messages. And as a community, we condole with the families. We paid condolences, try to show empathy amongst ourselves, comfort each other, and prayed, right? So that is what it means. Your personal value coming into play. Your personal value over company or entity value. I'm trying to explain this as simple as possible. Now let's talk about the Nigerian author, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I don't know if you've heard of her. You can Google about her. Now, why is she known all over Nigeria, Africa, in fact, the world. She's known for her powerful storytelling and authentic voice. That's her personal brand. She shares her story every now and then. She talks about how she grew up, her childhood, in fact, her adulthood, her journey to becoming an author when she started writing. That's whenever she holds the mic to talk, she doesn't remove her personal story. She always infuses, her story into the discussion. And that's what connects her to the world. Why? What you'll be asking? Why must I talk about my story? Why does it matter, my dear? It matters because in today's world, people want to connect with people, not logo, not your brand color, not your company building, your company location. That's not what people want to connect with. Some of you here, we've never met physically. Apart from my pictures you see online, you don't know if I'm crippled. You don't know if, yes, my pictures I may be standing, but you don't know if I have any other thing aside the pictures you're seeing. The things I show you are what I chose to show you, right? And you've come to trust me, you've come to believe me, you've come to relate with me. We now act like we have known for years, right? We have seen before, even though we have not connected physically, right? So personal branding helps you build trust and makes your audience, feel like they know you. I've made you feel like you know me. If they call you and say, what can you say about Ruth Sobejuko? You can say a few things because I've been able to connect with you with my personal story, right? So your personal branding will make, people feel more, connected, and they are more likely to buy from you and work with you. So another reason why you should, invest in your personal brand is it is a non-negotiable tax for you if you want to dominate, apart from dominating on the online world. Physically, people will see you. Gone are the days when they say, don't judge a book by the cover. These days, people judge a book by the cover. If your book is not as beautiful with a good title, people may likely not buy it. People will have the time. They want to see, what you can offer just by sizing you up, looking at you. Okay? So personal branding, your personal values and your and story helps you build trust and connection. When you are particular about your personal values, your personal story, it will help you build trust and connection faster. Now, when we talk about personal values or core principles, these are what guide your actions and decisions, like honesty, creativity, kindness, empathy. When you say you will do a thing, do you do it? Now, those of you who have been with me from day one of this visibility challenge, you did know that every single time I ensure that I guide you through the process. Whatever I promise to do, I do it and even go out of my way to do more. Yesterday, Onye was telling me that, Mama, you have improved this thing. It wasn't like the last cohort. Yes, so that you get value for every single encounter you have with me. These are my core values. I want you to go having that fulfillment. I invested rightly. I want you to see it as not just the money, the results. I am investing in the results you will get. That is my satisfaction. That is my core value. Now, what is your own core value? When you share your values openly, people who believe in the same things, they feel connected to you. Your story is everything. It's everything you have been through, your successes, your struggles, and your lessons. I connected with a lot of people when I wrote my first book, My Truckload of Mistakes in Business. I shared mistakes I have made, and people are like, a lot of people talk about their success, how they grew, how they went from zero to, but nobody is talking about the mistakes. Nobody is showing behind the real. Nobody is interested in telling you, showing you their pitfalls, right? So I connected with a lot of people just because of that story. When you share your lessons, you share your pain, people will connect with you. Sharing parts of your story makes you human and relatable. It shows people that you're not just selling a product, you are living your brand every day. Now, I know of the story of Zaron Cosmetics. You know, she's a Nigerian, and she founded the Zaron. You know of cosmetics, Zaron Cosmetics in Nigeria. Her story is about starting small. She always shares a story about how she started small and her passion for beauty. And this resonates deeply with her customers. Even Burna Boy always shares his story, his journey, and values. How he started through his music and social media. And this is what makes his fans feel connected to him. Even Davido shares his story. And this is what makes their fans you know. So it is beyond, to them, it is beyond songs, right? It is beyond songs. Why do you think a lot of people, started that movement when Mohbad died? He has shared his story, he has shared his pains through his songs. And people, became so pained when he died. This guy too, when he was arrested, very dark man. He has shared his story. He has shared his core values. People who resonate with his value, are now his fans. He has built a community, a loyal community of people who trust and believe him. Right? That is his personal brand. So when your story and value comes through consistently, when you talk about it consistently, when you act it consistently, your audience feels like they are part of your journey. And this creates loyalty. They are more likely to support you, recommend you, and stick around even when competition is tough. Okay? Now, let's also look at some examples. Fela Kuti You know, he wasn't just a musician, he was a revolutionary. He was revolutionary in his acts, in his attitude, in his actions. He was a revolutionary musician. His brand was about courage. He was always standing for truth and speaking up against injustice. His personal story and values made his brand unforgettable. He talked about the vices. Now, I will also talk about Chimamanda again. Her story about her storytelling and feminism she used her story of feminism and personal storytelling to build a personal brand that is authentic and inspiring. Talking about females, talking about females, being empowered. And then people connect with her because she shares her truth openly. She shares about her thoughts openly. Now, quickly, I'll talk about another brand, GT Bank. GT Bank, they have built a brand, they are being friendly, reliable, and innovative. They are always messaging, talking about customer experience, customers experience, their values, how they are investing in making sure their customers have the best experience. I can go on and on and on and on and on, right? So whether you are a business or a person, your brand works best when it's real, right? That's what I'm trying to emphasize in this today's section. Okay, your brand works best when it is real, when you're consistent, and when it's based on values and stories that people can relate to. Okay, now your assignment is to write out, you're going to write out your mission statement and core values. When you go to my Facebook, you'll see a post I pinned to my wall. I talk about me, my brand, what I do, what I've done over the years, my hobbies, my activities, So you're going to write, what is your personal mission statement? If you're conversant with my content, what I write, at the end, I write my mission. I am on a mission to touch lives, businesses, 10x visibility, sales and income through my shared story, my shared experiences. I always make it clear, this is my mission, right? So you have to write your personal mission statement. This is simple. It's a simple, clear sentence, a clear sentence or two that, summarizes what you want to achieve and how you want to impact others. For example, on my bio, I say, I help businesses become visible online. So you can, your own maybe, I empower young Nigerians to grow their businesses with simple digital marketing. Yes, that's also my mission, right? I empower young Nigerians to grow their businesses with simple digital marketing. You can say, okay, I create affordable and beautiful fashion that celebrates African culture. Okay. Now, another assignment, the first one is to write your personal mission in a simple, clear sentence. It can be one sentence, it can be two sentences. But It should be as simple and relatable as possible. Number 2, you need to list 3 core values that your brand represent. Like I said before, core values has to do with honesty, creativity, community, excellence, innovation. So you have to think about the values that matter most to you and your business. What are the things that matters to you most? These are your core values. So to me, what matters to me most is excellence, creativity, innovation, honesty, motherhood, parenting. These are my core values. I they are my priorities, So this is what will guide you. This will guide you how you communicate, what you post about, and how you show up online. You don't comment anyhow. If you know your core values, these you won't. It's not every comment you reply to. If your comment is excellence, you won't put out any just anyhow picture. I made these mistakes in my early years of beauty, but now I'm becoming very intentional about the pictures I take, where I take them, how I pose for pictures. I now invest in how I appear, my face. It's not as if you are trying to, you're not trying to compete with anybody. It is who you are. It talks about what you represent, your dressing. You need to walk the talk. If you're talking about, helping people become rich, increasing sales, you need to look like somebody who has seen that sales that you are teaching people. I don't know if you understand, but this is the simplest way I can explain this personal brand. You don't, you go to an uncompleted building, you stand in front of an uncompleted building and you take shabby pictures and you post it. No. Thank God you have somebody who is telling you this. You invest in how you look, you invest in your clothes, in your shoes. Before I started doing it, you need to see the way, like you are seeing me, how I have prepared myself to get this section up. Is about my personal brand. I've sprayed perfume like you're even going to perceive me, So how you look, you don't just put out any pictures, you do selfie and you post. No. Go to the studio, take good pictures. Don't do this thing like you anyhow person. That's what separates you from every other person who is online. The online space is noisy. It's very noisy. So how will people remember you? How will people stay with you? If you're doing things anyhow, they'll see you as anyhow. So you need to be intentional about you, about how people see you. Okay? Now, before I close today's section, you need to ask yourself, how can I show more of me in my online presence starting from today? How do I show more of myself? Can I share behind the scene look of my work, of my business? Like you go to the market to source for material, can you show how you go there, the process? Can you tell a story why you started your business? You need to reflect. I've often said it that for me, I always like to share my personal story and tie it to the lessons I have learned. when I stopped bedwetting. I've shared my story of how I stopped bedwetting at the age of 26. Can you post something you believe in or a challenge you have been able to overcome, like my bedwetting experience? I remember also when I posted about the questions I asked my husband before I said yes, the things I did before I said yes. These are my experiences. Now, I want you to remember that people want the real you, not the polished version, not your polished products, your products you take pictures of. That's not what people want to see. People want to know a bit. God, that's why all these celebrities, they are celebrities, they are influencers, because they are showing you their lifestyle, they show you their family, they show you their children. But there's a way you do it and it becomes like you're overdoing it. You don't show everything. Some of you know that I have 3 children, my husband, but you have really not seen my husband as often. So it is what I choose to show you that you will see. And that is what I want you to also do. When I say talk about your journey, I don't mean you should, when maybe you are traveling to somewhere, you write on transit, you snap the bus or the plane, and no, that's foolishness. Whenever I post, maybe I went for an event, or I must have left where I am before I post it. I don't go there and start saying, hey, live from this. No, 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 no. I don't do that. Even when I traveled to Enugu, I said, Enugu, like now in Enugu, but I didn't say my location. Enugu is a big city, right? So you can't come and say live at Aja number, waiting, you talk about. No, that's foolishness. And that's how you can be kidnapped or killed, right? So I want to encourage you, right, to be you, and by that you attract the right audience. So your assignment, like I said, your assignment is to write your mission statement and 3 core values if you don't have anyone yet. Now start thinking about how to tell your story on social media in a way that's authentic to you. Okay? So I believe you start seeing this in the light that it ought to be seen. Okay, so get ready for tomorrow's lesson where we'll talk about content strategies, creation, and all of that. I would like to hear from you. If you have questions, remember to drop in the WhatsApp group. So ensure you do your assignment, and I'll see you in the WhatsApp group. Have a great day today, and God bless you.